Hey everyone, Token Dave over here, the dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by. And welcome to another edition of the Token 10, my top 10 list for a particular subject matter. It's always been hard for me to make friends. I'm just socially awkward, you know. I had a girlfriend a couple years ago that said she was frustrated with getting to know me, and it was frustrating dating me because of my social awkwardness. And it doesn't help that I'm a bit of a raging fanboy, and I'm mainly the poor man's fanboy. And as I'm recording this, it is June 30th, and today is the day the best friend that I made in my 30s is leaving. She's going over to somewhere in the South, state that I don't intend to visit, but I might have to visit her and a colleague. But she's the type of friend that I wish I had in my teenage years, and it got me thinking, man, that was the last decade of great music. And I'm not much into music nowadays, but I just really think that I should share my 10 favorite albums of the 90s. All right. Now, this list was very difficult to compile, and I came to the conclusion that I need to do a separate list of rock and rap albums, and also that I might have to do an additional token 5 of ones that didn't make the top 10 but should be honorably mentioned. But nonetheless, here are Token Dave's 10 favorite albums from the 1990s. Starting with number 10. The Sign from Ace of Base. Good God have mercy. I am embarrassed to say that I had this album. I'm also embarrassed to say that I like this album because all those songs that are so terrible and so cheesy and so bad were just really catchy, and I had to listen and I had to buy it. And of course you had The Sign, of course you had A Beautiful Life, and of course All That She Wants. And I was just cranking this album in my home, and it's embarrassing to say this, but yeah, nothing else to say. I loved Ace of Base, and I just loved Ace of Base back in the day. So, yeah. All right. Number 9. Hillbilly Deluxe by Rob Zombie. Okay, this was a time period where I basically gave the middle finger to everybody near where I lived and was up and open about how much I loved rock music, all right? Because back in the 90s, at that time, in my area, being a minority, if you told people or if you were up and open that you liked rock music, you got your ass kicked because that was white music. It's how it was in the 90s, guys, especially in New York City, especially in the Bronx, all right? Well, parts of New York City. Get Bronx, high minority population, yeah, in high school, yeah, people were that ignorant, And then it didn't help that I also said screw you and brought a motorcycle leather jacket, which people will call the Michael Jackson or the Billie Jean jacket. Anyway, out the way. Senior year of high school is when this came out, and it's so funny that when people went to see Bride of Chucky, everyone cheered with Chucky smoking weed, but you had Living Dead Girl as the opening song, which came from Hillbilly Deluxe, and when The Matrix came out, Dracula was all over that movie. In fact, a lot of times when that song came out, I actually was listening to the album at home, and then when the song played on The Matrix, everyone turned around and stared at me, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I also had straight and longer hair back then too. So Hillbilly Deluxe was an awesome album, and goddamn, if I had a car, I'd still be pumping that today. But Hillbilly Deluxe, Rob Zombie solo without the White Zombie crew and everything, and first outing, and it was amazeballs. We got Dracula, Living Dead Girl, Super Beast, Demonoid Phenomena. Oh no, Demonoid Phenomena was actually it was Demonoid Phenomena was in Hillbilly Deluxe. Yeah, tons of awesome songs by Rob Zombie. So yeah. Number 8. It's About Time from SWV. Oh, I had such a crush on all 3 members. I had a crush on all 3 of them, but the bigger crushes I had were with Taj and Lily. Coco was cool, tall one, best singer of them. But this was the album around the time where New Jack Swing was going out, and basically it was becoming more like slow jams. And damn, when this album came out, the first single, Weak, that was like, you heard that song being played all over the place, especially when you had people writing love notes talking about songs that they dedicate to their girlfriends. Weak was one of them. But not only did you have Weak from that album, you also had Anything, you also had I'm So Into You, and you also had Right Here. And a lot of those songs were just the natural albums, right? Later on, like about 2 years later, they started remixing the hell out of like almost every song from About Time. But that album, along with other songs like Downtown and like, Black Pudding, yeah, these were suggestive lyrics and songs that it's very interesting that Mama Hawkins was really pissed about some of the lyrics of these songs, and my aunt was saying, oh, yeah, my nephew likes the songs with the chicks sound like chipmunks, which that was kind of screwed up, but I didn't care. I loved SWV, and I still love them to this day. So, yeah. Number 8, SWV, It's About Time. Number 7, Battle of Los Angeles, Rage Against the Machine. Oh, love me some RTAT, alright? Well, RTAM, alright? Rage Against the Machine, freaking awesome, alright? I did not become aware of them until I entered high school, because Evil Empire was already big, and I was not aware, and no one I knew was listening to Evil Empire. But when I started high school, and I heard, No Shelter, and I also heard, fuck you, I won't do what you told me. That was awesome enough. But then Battle of Los Angeles came out, and we had Guerrilla Radio. We had Sleep Now in the Fire, which I had to say, I was actually there when the video was actually being filmed. I cut school that day on my way to see my friend in Staten Island, and was told that Rage Against the Machine was playing on Wall Street. I literally went there, and I actually saw Michael Moore, and the police were all over the place, and they kind of shut the place down for playing without having a permit. But damn, that was an awesome album. And there's just a few songs from that album that didn't get singles, but were awesome enough. Mainly, Born as Ghost. Born as Ghost was one of those songs that I'm surprised it was a single made out of it. But damn, Battle of Los Angeles, that was like an anthem for me personally, about being more aware of the government and going against it, even though the government was kind of in more of my favor at that time. But still, Giuliani was mayor at that time. He didn't want Rage Against the Machine to play, and I was like, yeah, stick it to him, yeah, So yeah, Battle of Los Angeles, number 7. Number 6, Spice World by the Spice Girls. They are responsible for me doing this list. The Spice World album has a song that I had to play for my friend, because there's a song there that I had to dedicate to her and everything that really makes me like smile when I think about all the times I hung out with her. Basically, 99% of the time was with my other friend, because she was married. She was married to a friend of mine, and I'm not sure if they finalized the divorce, but they did. I know they signed the papers. But anyway, Spice World. I was in love with all the Spice Girls, alright? Yes, every single one of them. My favorites were Sporty and Posh, alright? But I don't care if y'all making fun of me right now, alright? I was into them, you know, especially like basically when Spice World came out, the second album, you know, I headed straight down the coconuts and I brought that album. And I loved it even more. And I was part of the Spice Girl craze and everything, you know. People of the world, spice up your life. Every boy and every girl, spice up your life. People of the world. Yes, I was there. Oh, man. And then when they had Stop and everything, stop right now. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah. I know, it's embarrassing, but I love the Spice Girls. And Spice World was, like, definitely one of my favorite albums in my late teens. And, man, it was just a fun songs, cute females, and just, when you just want to just, like, you know, be silly, just have a good time and everything, I would pop on Spice World. And Esau, you cannot say that you did not like the Spice Girls and you were not jammy to them with me, Esau. Just gotta say, you were there with me. Alright, so, gotta wrap this up right now. So, part 2 will be coming out a little bit later where you'll find my 5 favorite albums. But what do you all think so far? You know, please, drop me a comment below, give me a like, follow me on Facebook at Token Dave, or on Twitter at Token Dave 80, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when a new video loads. But until then, this has been Token Dave, dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by, and I'll catch all of y'all later.